inaasahan, pinagkakatiwalaan.
Isyo at komentaryo, musika at show, sa dramas at sa serbisyo publiko. Aksyon Radyo, ang tunog ng bayan, ang nangunguna, ang tunog ng bayan. Aksyon Radyo, 8-19, ang nangunguna, ang tunog ng bayan. Kaya't sama-sama tayo sa Aksyon Radyo.
Number 1 AM station sa Eastern Visayas.
Tanabihan ay sangkay, oras nahan, Hiruhimangraw lang. Kaupayan, ngan karatan, karayganhan hitabo, paghihingadayan.
Declare unto five John Paul II
Ano man
saying,
hindi iton, baga maupay naman laliwat hiton nakadaha masterless nga waray hiya magtrabaho.
Honestly, it almost looks like a tsunami in this movie.
It is great to be here at Fort Pasco, but I'm here in the Philippines to
Mark Xavier Uyales, journalist doctor niya pag-graduate at
Unfortunate that most of those who did not attend the meeting are the ones that are complaining.
Ay man nga napitan nasod o kalibutan pa man, diri kita malulusutan aton pag-iistoryahan. Bulik kay ni sangkay, dinhila ang aton taramdan, Hiruhimangraw lang. Nganya na, an iyo program host.
Mapayang kulop kasangkayang, kumusta ito natin dito mga suki? Webes kita nga adlaw, pet sa 24 habulan nito ng Oktubre. Ada kay na ipagturunod naman ito na adlaw. Siguro makasaring kita nga maliwas na hadiri maiha. Ang kafiestahan ng sagkahan. Maupay nga kulop otro. Ngaran dito natin katugbang engineering. Ako Hiluwi Quebec nga indeed. Happy fiesta. Dida hiton na usahan kita dakui nga distrito. Didi ha syudad hiton Tacloban na naton Sagkahan District. Kumusta? Ito naton didi mga kasangkayan. I hope nga baga nakasettle na kita tikang hininga baga maraot nga panahon nga aton na eksperyensyahan. Labi na adton na pagsiguro nga malimpyo dida iton aton mga kalibungan na tikang hadton na karatan. May mga dahon nga nanhi hanok nga daan aton mga drainage system, maupay kung magkakabrublig kita didi barangay paglimpyo hini, no? Kay diri man inin kumbaga hinula ang nagpinasarang hiton dida, ha? It suporta hit mga mulopyo. Angay nga ihatag di dahiton naniniguro nga aton mga natuinan han baryo. Ha? Sige, kung ano man iton pwede nga ma-share in whatever capacity, your time, your efforts, your resources, please, paabot naton iton kay para mas mahuyaya gan aton dida barangay. Besides, kung baga dagko iton na mga aratendiran, pwede man kita magpabulig didi hiton aton na pamunuan. Didi ha syudad or didi iyo munisipyo kay base liwat mas madagmit an aton dida pagtrabaho. Kumusta naman ito naton didi mga namamagpakabuhi ba it aton niya na mga pamaplitan didi ha merkado. Diri na la ako mag-uunhan hingkon pa man gabaga pag digun hin istorya. Because maaram kita basta naso ga dini, okay, di kagod hito makakatara hin saring pa decent nga presyo. Bisan nga ni kakulop early on, kay baga nagpaalayong kita, ha? Hin baga mahisarabaw, gidaw. Nagkadto yang paralitan han gaway. Usually, iyan napapalit ini nga gaway, ha? Tag 50, 60 pesos sa. Ada nga haw kuno kakulop, temprano pahan aga, na tag 200 na. An usa, an presyo, han dati nga napapalit nimo hin 60, 80, yan na 200 alagad man daw liwat, timbaga pagpahimulo sit pipera. Pastilan good man Sana nakakaintindi kita nga aton la pagkaburublig ngandiri kay pag-aton pagpahimulo sit kada tagsa kita nakakaunhan haaton la kit pagkaburublig kita mas darod ako ang posibilidad nga kita makakaunhan ha. So that's necessary Diri nagad pag dinorohon inin mahal nga pag pamaligya total waray man mag brownout gud di aton nga makakaapekto inin ungod ang mga pagpadagat inin waray good man nagpadagat pero I understand din nga aton dida mga dakop di man ining kagabila kay waray man kagabi no so we hope nga diri kita magpapahimulo sit sitwasyon precisely di ba pag may mga kalamidad nagpapahamtang iton pagsigurot presyo, ada iba nga mga agencies to monitor nga diri nagaabusar iton iba. Dik na ring nga nagabusar na aton dida mga kabugtuan naton sana diri. Aton na tagan higayon inin aton di sistema nga kundiin makakapabulig it aton dinhi mga inin gudti-gudti nga aton mga kabugtuan nga apektado or kukurian didahini nga aton na kabutangan. Sige, medyo baga nakahikay ako ng mga impormasyon dito naton na himangrawon yan nga kulop may pagisumpay inihan aral law nga igin na plastar gimpermahan han presidente hadin nakalabay ini nga semana pag-emphasize hiton tutok han gobyerno nga da hiton aton pangiskwelahan ngan panginanglan iton aton kabataan didiha eskwelahan. So direct maglalangan saring ko pa medyo baga gusto ko kasi i-share inihiya nga mga sitwasyon dida inin pagpasantop hini nga pagtaga-aral lo nga angay aton ini tatagan hin bugat dida hini nga aton na mga pag i-emphasize nga paunan magin maurupay madarudali it aton pantuon hitat mga kabataan and then iton aton mga magturot do in diri sugad nala nga burden din duro dida hini nga larangan ada ito hiya nga equation eskwela magturot do school administrators of course iton gobyerno in general nga may sugad dito nga pagpangarit dida hini nga larangan. Sige. Okay. Inin nga pagtaga-aral lo, i-share ko ito na iyo ang statement, message, ang signing message ni Presidente Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. nga kung ano liwat ang baga dirigad ini kabatunan kay diri man pareho nga okasyon. Nakada kasi nga nagyakan an aton DepEd Secretary Sani Angara ida inihan 2024 Social Good Summit last week Saturday adto kon diri kita nagsasayo pero nagingkuha naton ini kay iya dida encapsulate ano iton ginlalauman dida hiniya na nga aton bag-o nga mga pesyales ngan bag-o nga mga pamaagi hapag siguro nga nagpapakatuonin sakto an aton mga kabataan. Okay, sige. I-share naton ito iyo mahumanla ini nga pahinomdom.
DYVL Aksyon Radyo Newscast.
Ang masunod nga notisya indurot hayuhan.
Para hit pa oro-otro nga ulol, eskilan.
Biogesic. Sa sakit ng ulo, mag-Biogesic agad. Ramdam ang alaga. Most doctor prescribed pa. Biogesic. Ingat!
Ang mga biktimahan self-styled Son of God Apollo Kibuloy ini nakiasdang hadton ira igin aaligar abuser dito ng Senado kakulop in pagkasaring nga hira ingin andam para magtuman in sexual services para leader han grupo kumo kaparte haton ira spiritual journey ira igin buyagya gadton ira mga pagkatawo mahuman nga hikubuloy hatur temprano pa magbiay-biay niya ira hakadiri pagpakita iton ira mga nawong ngan tumago hay larom hin mga alias didahan mga soy inira didahan nakalabay nga Senate hearing at ubangan ng Senate Committee on Women, Children and Family Relations presided ini ni Senator Risa Ontiveros ang kababayinan ngasoy paunan o inhikibuloy sugadman hadton iya mga igkasi mga akusado gumamit iton Biblia para taganhin rason ang sexual abuse kumo buhat inihin pagsakripisyohan iralawas nga dahan pastor nga bagabaga ini hin pagtuman han mga sakripisyohan kanan makagarahom disipulo adton mga witnesses nagtangdo gihapon nga aada ini nga angels of death han grupo ni Kibuloy. Oras alas 5:08.
This time check is brought to you by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, maker of world-class quality Pride detergent.
Myra E. Time to get your Myra E on with 5-in-1 beauty of immunity powers.
Champion detergent. Para less time sa labada, more time sa pamilya.
RightMed. Pag may check, that's the right one. The right one is RightMed.
Champion detergent. Para less time sa labada, more time sa pamilya.
Aksyon! Radyo!
Para di madaling masira ang ngipin ng pamilya, ngayon pa lang,
Unique toothpaste for brushing every after kumain.
Dahil ang unique toothpaste, may Max Protect formula.
Ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa.
Helps stop cavities even before they start, while keeping breath fresh with regular use.
Unique toothpaste for brushing, para siguraduhin ngipin ay Max Alaga, Max Protektado pa. Unique
Max Alaga, Max Protektado with unique toothpaste maximum fluoride protection. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Tikang number 1 smart dishwashing paste.
Tanggaling-galing mo. Smart dishwashing paste ko. Pritong ulam na masebo, plato o kaldero. Tanggaling for everyday.
Amo ito kon smart and dishwashing paste. May double tanggaling formula. Tanggal galing ang sebo ngan bakterya.
Pahit para walang bahid, linis fantastic sa metal at plastic. Number 1 ko to. Tanggaling-galing mo. Smart dishwashing paste.
Heavy duty limpyo kada pahid. Smart dishwashing paste. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Pagbibili ng gamot, dapat subok, dapat trusted, dapat dekalidad. Alagang Unilab yan, alagang Unilab yan, alagang Unilab yan.
Kalidad na gamot, vitamins at pampaganda, meron ng Unilab para sa'yo. Yan ang alagang Unilab.
Adoy, maul-ulo na akong ulo.
Greg, may work pa. I-Biogesic mo na yan.
Medicine largo? Bangin may maraot na epekto.
Iba ang Biogesic. Most doctor-prescribed brand sa sakit ng ulo at lagnat.
Oh! Mahirot nga.
Jody Santa Maria po. Sa sakit ng ulo o lagnat, Biogesic agad. Alagang Unilab yan. Paracetamol is a generic name of Biogesic. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Makikanta sa next song natin. Hatid ng Champion Detergent. Sa Champion with Quick Wash Technology, less time sa labada, #mama daming time na sa pamilya.
Mama, daming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mama, daming time. Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na! Playtime with bunso kasi may champion na. Present lagi sa school pag champion sa laba. Gumimik with ate dahil may champion na. Lambingan with happy. Champion ako dyan. Kung gustong mag-shopping, dapat mag-champion ka. Mag-movie marathon, mabilis lang maglaba. Kung gusto nyong mag-swimming, tara mag-champion na. Lahat ng gusto nyo, mama daming time. Champion na! Tanggal mancha sa damit ni tatay, t-shirt ni kuya, mabango na rin. May quick wash technology ang champion. Family bonding ng priority ko. Salamat sa champion! Champion na! Mama, daming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mama, daming time. Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na!
Malaksi nga resulta ng laboratory ng X-ray ani mo biling? Pakadtula ha FCE Polyclinic and Diagnostic Center. Oo, mga sangkay. Mga bagog, state-of-the-art ang irang mga lab equipment. Sugarit ng X-ray, ultrasound, clinical laboratory ng ECG. Diri na kamo mahulatin maiha kaya yung X-ray ng ultrasound result makukuha dayon sa 20 minutos. Ang complete blood count makukuha lahin 5 minutos. May daliwa tira hypertensive profile, sugad ang FBS, RBS, BUA, creatinine, total cholesterol, HDL, LDL, triglyceride, sugad liwatan electrolyte profile, potassium, sodium, chloride, calcium ng pH ug liver profile, at phos total bilirubin, B1, B2, SGOT, SGPT. Available gihapon ang hemoglobin A1C, CRP ngan H. pylori. Ang resulta hini nga mga examination makukuha mo dayon sa kublahin usa ka oras. Pakadtuhan mga moderno ngan bag-o nga mga gamit pan laboratorio ka FCE Polyclinic and Diagnostic Center. Gindudumara ni Dr. and Mrs. Francisco C. Estanislao, Senator Inahi nga dalan Syudad ng Tacloban. Ang butika Estanislao mag-usa hiton klinik. Balik kita, didini nga aton na Hiruhimangraw la, kay Goodman, hadin nakalabay nga, inin adlaw, na kada an pagperma han na presidente, hini nga balaod kun tawagon aral law. Ano nga ni ini nga aral law? Siguro nakawati na kamo ini makadamo na kabeses, but this is a bag-o inihiya nga framework para hiton aton didi mga pagturon-an han aton kabataan, no? Dida ini nga sitwasyon an pagplastar ba han kakurian han aton kabataan han aton nasod it nagawas ba nga imagine nimo iton mga pag-assess hiton program for international student assessment makabibido ko ini 75% of Filipino learners fell below the minimum proficiency levels in reading, mathematics, nganhin science. Makabibido sa ring paman. So, nakada, itdako ba yan nga ayat hiton aton gobyerno, paunan o nga atubangon talaga inihiya nga problema, ngan magkamay-ada in solusyon. An kun ano gaba ang kinahanglanon nga kabag-uhan, paunan o ni nasasantupan, ano iton kinanglanon nga pitad, anhain an papasiudgon, nga igpapatuman, kay base magsarbe ni nga learning intervention, so that, adigudman kita, masulsog, hiton journey to champion the right of every Filipino child to quality education. Saring pa, han presidente, dida ini nga iya pag-iyakan, dida inin nga paghipasahan aral law, natutuman na hini na priority measure na gin-identify dida han ledak nga kunta magpahimugso in National Learning Intervention Program designed to help struggling learners catch up with the required standards for their grade levels. Amo na gud manini kay dako induro an aton lanaton para liwat nga an aton mga eskwela, an aton mga kabataan in talaga makakatapo hiton ayat didahini nga larangan. Kung itatanding kita nga tut iba in terms iton aton na babaruan, in terms iton aton outcomes para panutduan itat kabataan, diri liwat kita sugad na la ka pukis. Imagine na 75% naton mga kabataan diri ira sugad ka anhaniti, diri ra sugad ka maakaret maaram. Dida ini nga mga basic nga larangan, reading, math, nganit science, so mabug-on hadughan ito hiya nga hulagway nga ikatulo kabahin didahin na usa nga postura diri sugad ka mag-aram usala kabahin 1/4 la an baga nakakaarap-arap so didahiton pagipasa hini nga aral law. The President believes and is hopeful makakapahamtang hini nga kabaguhan nganiton epekto. Adiman niya statement.
Senate President Chis Escudero and House Speaker Martin Romualdez, members of the House of Representatives, and of course the members of the Senate, cabinet officials here with us today, our development partners and stakeholders, our beloved teachers, of course, and my fellow workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, at the ceremonial signing of the Academic Recovery and Accessible Learning or ARAL Program Bill, we embrace a challenge that is as pressing as it is profound. We gather to provide every child in the country with the education that they deserve and that they have a right to, empowering them to shape a future where learning is not a privilege, but it is a right, and where every young mind can flourish. In 2018, the Program for International Student Assessment revealed that a staggering 75% of Filipino learners fell below the minimum proficiency levels in reading, mathematics, and science. This disheartening trend remained alarmingly the same, highlighting the urgency of the learning crisis that we confront today. It is imperative, therefore, that we acknowledge this massive challenge, determine the necessary steps, and prioritize the implementation of learning interventions. On this note, I extend once more to our legislators vote of appreciation for turning our ideals into concrete measures to further pushing our educational system forward. With the signing of the Aral Law, we embark on a definitive journey to champion the right of every Filipino child to quality education, ensuring as well that it is accessible to all. At the heart of this law lies a steadfast commitment to a free and effective learning intervention for our learners from kindergarten to grade 10 within our public education system. It is available for those who are re-entering school after a hiatus, those grappling with proficiency in reading, mathematics, and science, and those who encounter challenges in passing examinations. Qualified private basic education institutions will likewise receive analogous support for similarly situated learners. Indeed, the ARAL program seeks to confront the broader challenges of mastering essential competencies and recovering from the learning loss through structured tutorial sessions. Beyond stimulating academic achievement, this also will reignite each student's passion and enjoyment for learning. Here, our mission extends beyond mere knowledge acquisition. We aim to foster the empathy and support that every learner rightfully deserves. Aligned with the existing policies of the DepEd, the ARAL program will nurture learners holistically, fortifying their academic foundations and enhance their resilience in the face of adversity. By honing their essential learning competencies, we can equip our students with the foundation skills required to become visionaries, critical thinkers, problem solvers, qualities essential to the progress of our nation in this modern world. Learning, after all, is not confined to the four walls of a classroom. The diverse experiences that our learners encounter will endow them with the wisdom to navigate life's complexities, the courage to venture beyond the familiar, and the confidence to confront every challenge head-on. Our tutors, teachers, para-teachers, pre-service teachers, serve as a foundation of the learning process. And your role is crucial in imparting the values and knowledge essential for the next generation to succeed. To bolster this vision, we are engaging public telecommunications entities to collaborate with us by providing free access to DepEd exclusive learning management systems. This will encompass a multitude of tools, from web-based applications and online educational platforms to digital libraries and other knowledge hubs, fostering continuous learning for both students and educators. Recognizing the needs of disadvantaged learners and their tutors, this law provides subsidized data plans to facilitate access to the resources required for academic success. Moreover, a portion of the mandated allotment in each broadcasting network's daily total airtime will now be utilized for supplemental tutorial videos on essential learning competencies as part of their duty to serve the public good. Lastly, any donation, contribution, or grant made to the ARAL program through the DepEd, whether in cash or in kind, shall be exempt from the donor's tax and considered allowable deductions from the donor's gross income. This initiative is designed to encourage support and partnership from individuals and organizations dedicated to uplifting the quality of education in the Philippines. The success of the ARAL program hinges upon the active participation of the teachers, the tutors, the parents and guardians, local government units, national government agencies, and of course the private sector. To our teachers and program tutors, I urge you to approach our learners with understanding, teach them without bias, and guide them with compassion, for they carry the better future that we all strive for. Employ teaching methods that resonate with their unique needs, their dreams, their aspirations. Your role is not only to educate, but to innovate and to inspire. To parents and guardians, I encourage you to maintain open lines of communications with your children's tutors. Monitor your child's progress and extend to them the support they need to succeed in life. To our LGUs, I call on you to help cultivate a safe and conducive environment for in-person tutorials. Collaborate with the national government in promoting this program by engaging potential tutors, referring qualified candidates, and motivating parents to involve their children in this endeavor. And through our national agencies, you play a vital role in ensuring the smooth implementation of this very important initiative. Promulgate the necessary rules and implement the needed steps to operationalize this law. At para sa ating mga kabataan, hangad ko na gamitin ninyo ang programang ito upang makamit ninyo ang tagumpay. Bilang ama, edukasyon ang pinakamahalagang pamana na maaari naming iwanan sa inyo. Walang material na bagay na makakatumbas sa halaga ng edukasyon. Ito ay uhubog sa inyong kakayahang harapin ang anumang hamon ng buhay at makapaglingkod ng tapat sa ating bansa. Let us collectively aspire to build a bagong Pilipinas, one where education serves as the cornerstone of our nation's progress. Through our integrated efforts, we can create a future where no learner is left behind, and every Filipino child can flourish in an increasingly complex world. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
So amo iton baga pagyakan han Pangulo dida hininga ceremonial signing. So bagay makakaagat ba hin inspirasyon makalilipay nga diin ada inihiya nga mga paniguro nga maipahigayon ini nga gikinahanglan nga mga kabaguhan. Ada di dahiton na usa ka higayon hanaton na pakihampang hanaton didi para makuha naton iton lokal nga pulso nagsumpay hanaton didi ka aksyon nga hanaton na local DepEd nga di regional office han DepEd nga naigin ka istorya hanaton ka aksyon ayones omang an aton DepEd information officer kan Ma'am Hasmin Calzeta nga ada kinuha kun ano adton ira hini baga pagsantop anon ira feel bali baga anot ira appreciation if that is the case nga da hini and adiman adto nga baga pag pahamtang han DepEd regional office dida hini nga napermahan ini nga aral law. By the way, aral is an acronym meaning Academic Recovery and Accessible Learning o ARAL program, 'di ba? Ka upay hin baga sugad nga concept. We hope nga may akahimo manggod iton nga recovery, ha? So, adiman ibalik ko iyo in part an nagin pag appreciate iton DepEd din niya aton ipinaagihan na aton didi regional spokesperson ha interview hanaton ka aksyon ayones oma.
This is good news for DepEd. Ini nga aral law or naton tinatawag na Academic Recovery and Accessible Learning Act na it was already signed by our president, of course. And iya panuyuan hining na aton na aral program or aral law is to create a national learning intervention program para hadton aton mga struggling learners po nga maka-catch up with the required standards for their grade levels. So ini po nga at aral law or aral program this is a free national intervention program na magtatapan aton mga teachers, para-teachers, and pre-service teachers and those students na enrolled in a teacher degree program offered by teacher education institutions. And then focus niya is on improving itong students' competencies in essential learning areas po, and that includes reading and mathematics for grades 1 to 10, and for science naman, that's for grades 3 to 10. An aton for kindergarten naman learners, an aral program naton will focus on building foundational skills, which is an aton sinisiring na literacy and numeracy competencies po, Sir Ayones. So para masiguro naton an effectiveness and accessibility hini nga aton na learning intervention, magkakamay-adahin of course tutorial sessions which will be conducted in 3 flexible delivery modes. So, ang learner pwede mamili kung mag-face-to-face tutorial siya, online tutorials, or kasi gihapon, Sir Ayones, ito na sinisiring a blended learning approach. And, opo. Tapos, nga tanan ng mga learners can participate based on their needs and circumstances. Meaning to say, itong hihimuon talaga na learning intervention program will be apt kung ano iton needed iton sa nga bata. So, for Region 8, Sir Ayones, bangin magpakayanan na ito natin publiko kung ano itong gimubuhat ng mga initiatives ito na Region 8 relative to oral program. Actually, before pa inihiya masayna na natin President, we have been conducting intervention na program hadto natin mga struggling learners, especially on hiton kanan literacy nga numeracy. Kaya nakikita gud naton diring pa ang pinaka dako naton challenge is an aton learning gaps during ang time of pandemic. And this is the purpose Sir Yones, iton aral law and pag-address pag-address ang learning gaps na natabo because of pandemic. So this will be intervention program po designed to help our struggling learners po na makaka-catch up gap po na rakunanan natin required standards. So diri a new thing for Region 8 because we've been doing initiatives and good thing is magkakamay-ada na hinipon ang natin mga ginbubuhat yan na, di ba? Because of this oral law. So we are thankful na na-signan na inihiya. At least may ada kita legal basis kung kay siring pa damo na mga programs aton mga schools na natin gini-implement to ensure na na-address talaga natin ang mga learning needs sa natin mga kabataan.
Yan, so kumbaga, usa ito nga masisiring makalilipay nga aton na mababatian tikang didihiton aton mga naitutuinan nga mga opisales relative to ini nga mga changes. Although ito hiya diri siring pa kinukulang hin mga ayat. Well, hapag-unhanhan na pamakianan naton ka aksyon kan Ayones o mga nga di kan Ma'am Jasmine Calzeta hiton na DepEd aton ito igbabali ka iyo kahumanla hini nga pahinumdom.
DYVL Aksyon Radyo Newscast.
Ang balitang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, maker of world-class quality Pride detergent.
Biogesic. Sa sakit ng ulo, mag-Biogesic agad. Ramdam ang alaga. Most doctor prescribed pa. Biogesic. Ingat!
Ang Department of Budget and Management, amo ini nag-approve han release in 454 million para itong procurement in medical vehicles kay base igundong itong healthcare system. Ang Budget Secretary Amena Pangandama nag-approve han authority to purchase in motor vehicles para han procurement in 173 vehicles kantidad 454 million para ini hitong Department of Health and APMV nagsasakop inhan ikaduhang ahugnahan medical vehicle procurement program iton Department of Health. Ini gagamiton pagpalit hin 161 ngan upat ka units in land ngan air ambulances. Sugad man hiton upat nga mga passenger vans, duha nga mobile clinics ngan usa kada patient transport ngan blood donation van. Oras alas 5:30.
An oras hatag haiyuhan
Champion Detergent. Para less time sa labada, more time sa pamilya.
Aksyon Radyo
Champion Detergent. Para less time sa labada, more time sa pamilya.
Aksyon Radyo.
Dati, wala pang aray sa likod! At dati, wala pang aray sa kasukasuan!
Paulit-ulit ang pain? Mag-Skelan!
Sa Skelan, ang galing gumalaw, long-lasting bisa buong araw. Tuloy-tuloy ang ginhawa ko. Pag-aray dapat Skelan.
Unilab yan.
Up to 12 hours relief. Naproxen sodium is the generic name of Skelan. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Iba ang dating ni sis! Myra E's 5-in-1 Beauty of Immunity Powers yan.
True! It helps boost collagen, protect from the sun, renew skin cells, prevent skin damage, and help strengthen immunity fast.
With regular intake, proper diet, and exercise.
D-alpha-tocopherol vitamin E is the generic name of Myra E.
Si Mommy at si Washing Machine believe sa Pride Washing Machine Detergent.
Hello, Washi!
Hello, Mommy!
Laundry day na naman. Ready ka na sa mancha,
chocolate, putik, libag.
Kaya yan ng Pride Washing Machine Detergent. May triple stain-away formula. Tanggal ang makapit, madikit, at malupit na dumit mancha. Easy ang labada.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon.
All you need is pride. All you need is pride.
Pride Detergent, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified, world-class quality.
ACS.
May bago na nga energy! Ngatanan bago! Best ever Enervon, Enervon C+. Powered with zinc, vitamin C, vitamins B1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 12, at vitamin E. Ngatanan bago! Best ever Enervon.
Enervon Z+.
Unilab yan.
Multivitamins plus zinc is the generic name of Enervon Z+. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Balik kita nga in part dida ito nga baga syempre diri makuha it pakiana anay daw kay bisan nga ni kita nakadamang kita ito nga pag-emphasize inin anon man ini last year pala ang pagkumpletohan na training parahan matatag nga curriculum yan na ba adi may bag-o kita nga sistema of course training na liwat labi pa kay diri naman sugad kabaga karag siguruhan 45 minutes per subject matter so inihiya nga baga kaibahan paunan uman hiya we weave so much so that ang mga gains nga nahimunahan una, ang trainings, ang relative nga dahil niya nga bag-o na liwat nga ibubutang naton would result in strengthened ngandiri kay matapok o watak-watak nga kabutangan. Hapamakiana naton ka aksyon, adiman, ito yung nga punto.
Ma'am Jess, what happened? Ano matatabo hiton, di ba may kita existing program ini nga matatag program? So, ano't matatabo ni ma'am?
The matatag curriculum will continue because this one is a learning intervention program and this can be integrated po. Of course, ito natin, this is part of the implementation of the curriculum. When nakikita man natin nga there are challenges pag-abutin ng literacy and numeracy competencies ito natin mga kabataan, and this is just one of those efforts na gimbubuhat natin in connection with the National Learning Recovery Program po itong Department of Education. So the matatag continue, the matatag curriculum will continue, and then we will also implement these initiatives po under oral law para masiguro talaga natin na nahatag natin ang tama na intervention para kada tag sa kabataan because we believe na there are reasons kaya time ng pandemic may mga challenges manunumduman natin nagkamayada kitahan na modular distance learning. Although we really tried our best nga ma-provide kung on our end kung ang pwede mga kabataan para makapag-continue ng era education bisa nato mga panimalay, but may challenge talaga. There's learning gaps na admittedly yes nakita natin ito hiya. That's why damon mga initiatives natin ginbuhat to ensure na na-address natin ini nga mga learning gaps na nabubuligan at mga struggling learners natin nga maka-catch up with the standards po. Haira specific na grade level.
Well, kung masugad man di all is well and we just hope nga inihiya ba nga sitwasyon niya na in the diretso nga baga maipapahiluna talaga ang correct na or ang sakto nga pag-prioritize ito need kay basi manggod mabag-o iton outcomes dida hiniya na nga aton mga kabataan. Iton makalilipay la sa ring ko pa dida hinin usang okasyon hapagyakan han DepEd Secretary Sani Angara dida in 2024 Social Goods Summit ginbuhat ini hadi nakalabay nga weekend an iya emphasis nga da iton yan nga mga pagturunan adigud man kita nga magigiyahan kita hiniksakto ipinaagi hiton kung ano aada yana nga record ano aada yana nga data ngan ini an babasaran iton ira mga pitad kay come to think of it 100 days pa lang ngayon itaton na DepEd Secretary ha pwesto adi man liwat and gingrab naton an kaparti ito nga statement ti dito nga good summit nga hakabugusan nagsa-summarize ano it baga priorities and ano iton pamaagi nga hingangadtuan ini adiman
DepEd could and should be a data scientist's dream. Or it could also be a nightmare for an unwilling and opaque leadership. Assuming we collect data correctly, these numbers could lead us and could be linked together. They could tell us where the bottlenecks are and how we could act to produce quick and lasting wins for Filipino learners. As Glenda said, wins in the short run as well as in the long term. But data doesn't always paint a rosy picture. I was confronted with these images as commissioner of the second Congressional Commission on EDCOM, more popularly known as EDCOM 2. So EDCOM 2 crunched the numbers, showed us the basic education landscape and its challenges, and called it a learning crisis. It's a phrase we hear very often. What does this data look like? If we look at our 15-year-olds, the PISA exam shows significant learning loss from the pandemic and even before the pandemic. This effect extended to Filipino mothers. They experienced job losses for taking care of their children who were learning remotely. Our students are 5.5 years behind in terms of basic comprehension and competencies. As we return to schools, we are now short by around 165,000 classrooms for our growing student population. In the furthest and farthest, we need to construct about 8,500 last mile schools. We need to electrify 2,000 schools. We need to ship hundreds of thousands of textbooks, laptops, test tubes, lab equipment, and most of this is delayed. Our president, Bongbong Marcos, has seen this data, and my appointment as secretary came with a marching order. We have to turn this around. This is unacceptable. I'm now nearing my 100th day as secretary. I think today is my 3rd month, actually. And I'm finding out that turning things around requires a lot of design, a lot of careful design, a lot of delivery. There are no easy fixes or final answers. There is feedback, however, lots of feedback. Wherever we go, we encourage our communities to engage in genuine dialogue with us. What we can sense, we can also solve. That's our philosophy now in DepEd. In our first 100 days, we are sensing an abundance of stories, which fits right in with today's theme. Everyone wants to share their setbacks. Everyone wants to talk about successes. And as I told Maria, Glenda, Chai, there are a lot of successes at the micro level. This is a reminder that behind the data are faces and real experiences. Behind the data are millions of Filipino lives. We have traveled to our communities, or started to travel to our communities, to listen to them. In DepEd, we gather, we act on these stories. Data is the means. The end, as the President emphasizes, is to better Filipino lives. The goal is for students, for teachers, and parents to tell better stories, to have better stories, to tell their own stories. And stories start with dreams. And as we mark our first 100 days, I've been asked, what is your grand vision for the Department of Education, or DepEd? And part of me says, I just want to make the trains run on time. And that's an expression for making things work. And as Maria said, coming in here, we were chatting, and she said, you know, you're at sub-ground level. So that's why, so maybe to those who haven't really studied our education system over time or in depth, it sounds overly unambitious or unvisionary to say my goal is to make the trains run on time. But it is a goal nonetheless. When you know that maybe majority of our kids have not had school books for their school life, and many of our kids have never seen the internet. Many of our kids' first time to hold a computer is when they take the PISA exam. You can imagine what kind of fear and anxiety they would be subjected to. The poet said that our grasp should exceed our reach. So maybe a few more days or a few more months into the job, we will come before you and say we have bigger dreams. But partly it's also pragmatism. I know we only have a few years in our role. We've built a good team, and we can only do so much with that time. 2 decades in the legislature and elective politics have also given me perspective. I've seen the lengths and the limits of what our agencies can do. And making the trains run on time, so far, is what the data tells us to do. We're often cited as having one of the biggest budgets in the bureaucracy. That's perhaps just half of the equation. The other half is how and where we spend the budget to put things in order. I've always believed that the promise of governance is reliability. We're spending our budget on early procurement, and the data tells us that textbooks and materials are delayed. The timeline has to be moved up. We have a dedicated team of lawyers and process managers who are putting these train tracks in place. Earlier, faster, sturdier, more reliable. We're spending our resources on construction of classrooms. We're not just talking about the budget here, but also time. This is time to align with the Department of Public Works and Congress so we could move in lockstep with the various districts all over the country. It is time to coordinate with the Department of Energy so they can hand off our energized classrooms to electric cooperatives. It is time to regroup with the PPP, or Public-Private Partnership Center, to see what models are available for us to fast-track our infrastructure needs. This is the painstaking work of being in the executive. We're making sure the other train drivers are side by side with us in the control panel. We cannot lose any more time, given the urgency of the tasks at hand. Our nation's demographic window is expected to start closing in 2 decades or so. The nation will be older and will age faster. We must urgently front-load investments in our children to prevent learning losses, translating into less capable citizens, into lower incomes, and eventually slower and even less inclusive economic growth. We're spending our budget on our teachers. They deserve more for being the conductors that keep the train orderly. We're creating the fiscal space so we could give them more. We're giving them more flexibility in the curriculum. They can now customize class schedules to their students' needs. We're giving them more allowances and service credits. Taking care of our teachers, as the President said. Our goal is for them to reap the benefits of their hard work. We're giving them more support in their administrative work and career progression. Teaching may be a profession, a vocation, as many of you know, but it needs to have a clear pathway free of burden. It needs to have progression based on merit. Most importantly, we're spending the budget on our students. Our train passengers deserve the best journey to become global Filipino citizens. We hope to give them complete resources, including access to the proper learning materials and technology, to help better prepare them for the future of work. We hope to build the right recovery programs to make up for learning loss. We hope to implement a simplified curriculum, especially in senior high school, to ensure maximum learning with less subjects. We hope to set them up for success as they take local assessment and international tests like the PISA exam. And just as innovation has revolutionized transportation and communications, the same is or may be true for education. Technology is fast becoming the fuel that powers our education. We're prioritizing a 2-step tech infrastructure for our schools. Minsan naririnig po namin, si principal lang ang may laptop at internet sa eskwelahan. Or it's only the principal who has a laptop and internet access in the schools. That's the third thing we don't want to hear. Those are the stories we don't want to hear anymore. That's why we proposed a historic high of 12.5 billion pesos next year for internet subscriptions and procurement of laptops.
Sering pa man, ada good man ito hiya ba nga, inin, abat nimut ka sincero, ano, ito na plastar, but sometimes, easier said than done. Gintatang doon ito. Ano, hininga naging nakapartihan na pag-iyakan ni Secretary Angara dito hininga Good Summit, kundiin nakikitaan na niya paunan o hira mas nga magios ngan it advantage nga mabibilngan good man hin mas eksakto nga pagtagad an kabutangan niya na no diri niya an balibog us nga pagyakan hanatan DepEd Secretary nga ni tidaan pagtapos ito nga iya pagyakan adiman an emphasis nga angay kakaptan naton nga tanan pamatian ta.
3 months into the job, we're sober enough to admit that we are still navigating this vast landscape of DepEd. 1.05 million employees, 860,000 teachers, 24 million students, 45,000 schools. A lot of numbers, a lot of stories, a lot of data. But what I can assure you is this: stories give us purpose. and technology is our fuel. Data and evidence serve as our compass. The President's mandate is for us to chart a new course for Philippine education. Making the trains run on time would be a new course for Philippine education. Having complete sets of books and modern technology for our learners and our teachers would be a new course for Philippine education. A bagong Pilipinas. Where those of us, or as a former president once famously said, that those who have less in life must have more in law. Well, we can turn that on its head and say that those who have less in life must have more by way of education. Because every Filipino student deserves to realize their fullest potential. Maraming salamat po for listening, and I'm looking forward to being in the panel. Thank you very much.
Alright, oo. Mapahinumduman na kita madali ala.
Charm Fabric Conditioner with Bloom Fresh Technology. May antibacterial na at ka-bloom sa bango ang damit.
Charm Fab Gone Makabloom sa charm. Walang amoy kulong kahit sampay sa loob. Makabloom sa charm.
Charm Fabric Conditioner. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS.
Easy lang. Enjoy lang sa lakbay. Di mo mamamalayan, ang layo na ng narating mo. Parang Tanduay, 170 years nang matibay. Tuloy-tuloy lang, makakarating ka rin. Taas baso ng Tanduay. Drink responsibly. Pasiyahin ang selebrasyon. Ilabas ang Tanduay. Drink responsibly.
Mamadaming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mamadaming time, Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na!
Sa Champion Quick Wash Technology, less time sa labada, more time sa pamilya.
Pwede mali kita, nga sa ring pahanuna naton na hininga paghingaday, anaton hini Hiruhimangraw, bali man ini harang, nga pagtid sa abat dayon nimo iton kaharang. Ano, surely, or rather certainly, aagion paghihapon ininira iton dugang mga ayat, nga da hini nga irahing kikitaan nga mga solusyon, hini nga mga kabutangan nga inaantos yan na itaton mga kabataan. So imagine nimo iton nga baga nga backlog siring pahan aton inin secretary iton DepEd iton 165,000 nga mga classrooms nga kinahanglan itindog para la matapo iton existing yan nga need ngan maaram ka nga madudugangan na liwat ito hapag liskad hiton tuig man regular classroom la ito may da pahirahiton an iba pa ira sinisering nga last mile schools and then talking about tini nga mga needs sitaton mga kabataan nag-emphasize in senior high school sa itohan akon sa ring pa kung kay nga diri ako sugad kauyon han senior high school even way back haaton hini pagtikang kay while maupay an iya programa maupay an iya panuyuan diri kita hiton makaka-generate hadton na outcomes nga aton ginlalauman kung sinampang kong la an aton implementation. Diba? Han senior high labi na kung nakadikitahan TEV and technical education and vocational nga mga programs. Kay, diba? Papapag-eskwelahon nimo in welding iton kabataan, ibutang ta 30 ang kabataan na nag-enroll, uusala ito welding machine. Apinas pahira magkamay-ada han welding rod kay diri manhira na provide hitanan nga set up hito dida of which under hito naton requirements dapat may dahito, di ba? Kay paunan uman manihibaro ini nga mga kabataan kun diri ra makakag hands-on hito kay technical man niya. Diba? Ano man nira ito paghibaro kung pagsiri nga welding, ang mga gamit, ito na and protection, and protective gears, So that talaga, kita makaka-generate, hinbaga mag-upay good nga kabataan, hini. The same manner, han iba pa, kukiri. Ambot kun may duha nga lutuan didto. Ambot kun equip kan mga pans and then all those measuring things there. Ito ba na adi nga it concept maupay na sangko kita hiton ginhuhuna-hunaan naton nga magiging bunga hini, maupay nga bunga hini, kay diri man ngayon naton kaya tul-tul hiya nga ipatuman. 'Di ba? Kay again, kung may ada ka enroll lihin tag 30, tag 25 dito sa kaklase, yes o sala or duhala iton imo gagamiton nga mga higamit, iti mo machines and equipment, diri talaga tiya. Sugad ka magiging efficient nga klasihin learning. Now, kung adi kita hinon aton mainstream reading, mathematics and science, oh no. Dako gihap it aton hinidin hibaga dako nga lanaton, no? But hopeful talaga ako hadto nga aton pinanhibatian. Una ang aton presidente, and then again iton bagagin uungara nga kabag-uhan hiton bag-o nga DepEd secretary. In fact, the other day naton programa naguguol ako, nasa ring ako nga anhon taman inihin pag may ada hin maupay hini nga bunga kay uho bag-o naliwat an di pala maiha nga bag-o an sistema, di ba an matatag igin nakukumpleto palang training, ini pala nga school year and hulos nga pagpatuman nito, di ba? Yet we have the aral law, and then kabag-uhan na liwat kita, diin bahini gindadara iton aton sistema. Amo ba talaga ini iton aton sadang nga pitad, or tama ba itan aton naging susulsog nga pitad para ngadtuhit paghubad hini nga aton mga problema? Kay sugad dito, di ba? Yan na for the next 3 years kung waray man dida nga baga mga sitwasyon, the DepEd secretary now will finish an iya term. Di bang kita't maaram kung iga-absorb iya hiton masunod nga nga liderato kay magbabago man yung liderato, mabago man yung presidente, di ba? And by then, dinaliwat mababago, iton aton dida mga programa, itaton mga priorities. Remember, 3 years pala iton, kulang na ngani, tulo ka tuig. No? Kanda na gan, kung mangyari baguhon na liwat, inihiya nga kaupayan ito naton na gintutugwayan hitaton mga kabataan. Pero siring pa man, diri man liwat tama nga diri kita magiging malinaumon, diri kita magiging makikiusahit mga paningkamot given hiton aton nya na sitwasyon. So amo ito nasa rin ako, hopeful ako. We just hope nga iniin na makakahikay hiton eksakto nga implementation to achieve hini nga lalauman nga gidadakui para hiton aton mga kabataan. So, nga dahit mga kag-anak, usa kita hiton gidadakui nga harigi, nga dahiton success, hini nga mga paniguro, hini nga mga programa hiton gobyerno, amo nga kunta, hipulsan ta, gamiton ta, kung paunan o kita, support, paunan o kita ma-factor in didahini nga hini nga paniguruhan gobyerno. And then and government sana expel out liwat naton inihiya nga baga ikakapaangbit hit mga kaganak nga niton ira mga kabataan in achieving hini nga saring pagidadakui nga ambisyon. Oo, ayaw pagkalipat. Bisan gidadakui nga ambisyon, posibilidad nga ma-achieve is always there. Diba? Agrasya't makagarahom ngan paniguro hiton tanan, may dagad kita hinin, maupay nga papamulaton. Kun aadi iton tultul nga pagpatuman. Ha? Let's pray for that. Bueno, sige, sagaron ko nalaanay. Tugtuban sunod ngay gayon, aton pagkahampang, ito naton taramdan. Hiruhimangraw la, ako'y Louie Quebec, maupay nga kulop, hayo nga tanan.
Himbatian ang programa Hiruhimangraw la. Ang taramdan parahan iyo hay nga kakurulpon panongdong bulik kay ni Sangkay salit tugtubiton sunod ngay gayon hiton aton programa pagkirita kita dinhi ha Hiruhimangraw la.